What does the law say about posting the Ten Commandments in our county courthouse?
The law states that counties have a right to display things of a Christian belief. Of course, they can't force their beliefs on anyone, and they can't force that to be accepted by the population that comes into the courthouse, but they can post the Christian beliefs at the courthouse.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What does the law say about posting our Ten Commandments in our county courthouse?
It is my understanding that it's illegal to post the Ten Commandments in the county courthouse. I have been to the courthouse for a court case. I've had jury duty, and I did not see the Ten Commandments posted there. So I assume that they're not allowed to be posted. I don't know the law specifically. I do not agree with the law. I think that those are basic foundational laws that we need to post in our courthouses. I think that voters should stand up, and we should voice our opinions of that as a group, as Christians.
Do you know about any cases?
Well, I know Judge Roy Moore, who was a very popular Alabama judge that put a monument when he became the Supreme Court in the state of Alabama in Montgomery, and they made him take that out, and they also took him from service. He's ran for governor. He didn't make it as a governor, but he did think that he came under fire because he was standing up for his Christian beliefs.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
What does the law say about posting the Ten Commandments in our county courthouse? Personally, I don't know what the law says. I do believe that we should be allowed to post the Ten Commandments. I don't know that I've seen the Ten Commandments posted there. I think that what I've understood, I do know that there has been a case that we've heard mentioned before about Judge Roy Moore. I think it has a lot to do with, just like in the public school system, they want you to separate church and state. So they're going to have that separation of church from the law. I know that there's been some cases in other states that have wanted you to separate the law, the church. So it's a religious thing that they're bringing into it. I guess their thinking is that if they bring the church into the courtroom, that they may be offending certain people or certain religious groups. So that would be the way that they would be taking it. So personally, I think it should be there because I think everybody should live by that. But I don't know that what our actual Alabama law says about it. I don't know that I've ever heard anything other than the Roy Moore case was a very publicized case. I do know that the governor at the time was threatening to bring in military action for this. It was a very, very publicized case, and it was a very interesting case because he stood his ground, and I think a lot of people stood behind him, and a lot of different religious groups stood behind him. And so I don't personally know, but that's my opinion. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
What does the law say about posting the Ten Commandments in our county courthouse?
Well, the experience that I have noticed is that the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Alabama, Judge Roy Moore, lost his job over his refusal to remove the Ten Commandments from his courtroom. So I would think that it was not considered constitutional for him to display that in his courtroom. Okay, and I would think it would probably be because of the clause in the Constitution that talks about the separation of church and state, and the courtroom was part of the state, and it was interpreted that the Ten Commandments was tied into the Christian church. Yes, it could be offensive to some. I say to those people, be offended if you must, because I say Ten Commandments all the way. It is the basis of our law and the basis of our justice system. So that's my opinion, though. But as far as the law is concerned, I would say that it is unconstitutional to display the Ten Commandments in a courtroom.
Do you think that Judge Roy Moore should have lost his job?
I do not think that George Roy Moore should have lost his job, and from what I understand, he is trying to get his job back. He's running again for the Chief Justice of the state of Alabama, and if he gets that, I hope he has the gumption and the wherewithal to display his Ten Commandments again.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome. I'd like to tell a story about a friend of mine named Frank, and Frank was fickle. Now, if you don't know about what fickle means, fickle is someone that changes quite often, changes his mind a lot. And so I called him Fickle Frank. And Fickle Frank had 55 fistfights. Not in the same day, but in 1 week he had 55 fistfights. And after Fickle Frank had 55 fistfights, his girlfriend, her name was Fanny. Now she was funny, so I called her Funny Fanny. Now Funny Fanny, after Fickle Frank had 55 fistfights, Funny Fanny fried Fickle Frank some finny fish. Now finny fish are fish with fins. So after Fickle Frank had 55 fistfights, Funny Fanny fried Fickle Frank finny fish, and Fickle Frank ate the finny fish that Funny Fanny fried, and it filled Fickle Frank full. Now if you didn't get that, I can say it again. Fickle Frank had 55 fistfights. After Fickle Frank had 55 fistfights, Funny Fanny fried Fickle Frank finny fish. Fickle Frank ate finny fish, Funny Fanny fried, and it filled Fickle Frank full. Thank you.